It is about 3:45 in the morning, and I've been up now I would say about an hour. I went downstairs. I was thinking about lighting the wood stove, but I better just kind of do things in a moderation level. I don't want to run out of wood, seeing that we have a whole week filled with single digit and maybe even negative digit weather coming up. But what this video is about, and I got an instant confirmation, was earlier when I woke up, I heard in my spirit share my experience regarding the wood stove, of how it came about as far as the installation. And then later on, maybe 30 minutes or so later this morning after I woke up, I heard the Spirit say, I did a video about the phoenix, and then I did another video regarding David conquering the fire, and some kind of way I wound up with the revelation of when God had told me, or was letting me know, or revealing to me that his spirit is really here in the flesh. Just as Jesus walked the earth, God's spirit is here in the natural, in the flesh, within us. It's really, his spirit is here as it's never been before, through our flesh, through our minds and souls and bodies. The representation of God in the natural is here in our midst as never before. And he expanded that revelation this morning by saying, not only is my presence here like never before, he let me know the angel's presence is here as never before as well. And I don't want to go into the different beliefs of the different the different beliefs of the different religions that is here. Because you got angels, ancestors, and I don't really know about ancestor. I don't know about that educational I don't know. I just haven't learned. I know a little bit about it, but I've never related to no ancestors because I'm not very close with my uncles, aunts, and I do not have brothers and sisters. So that and I'm not. Me and my mom really, So we have a relationship, but the it's so the ancestral never really clicked with me. So if I'm not friends or not very family related with my family, how can I get related to ancestors that I don't? So that never really resonated with my spirit. I don't have anything against it, but through my Christianity raising since I was 19 years old, and I'm 61 now, so all I know is angels, and it has worked very well and still working to this day. But what God revealed to me, just as his presence is here as never before within us, and representing without, as within, so without, God was letting me know also that the presence of angels, because yesterday or day before, whenever it was, God, just opened my eyes, more of us entertaining angels in unawares. And that is what this video is about, to let us know that we will start witnessing miracles, because that's the air we breathe. That's the heaven here on earth. It looks as if there are miracles from looking without, but we've got to get comfortable with the atmosphere of angels being in our very midst. We're entertaining angels in unaware. And to give the example is that regarding my wood stove, I've had the wood stove, I would say 2 years now, and financially, I didn't really want to make the sacrifice to get it done. I would have had to pay for parts and labor, and for me to really buckle down and sacrifice and save, I just hadn't done that yet. But hearing the up and coming forecast a couple of weeks ago, they was letting us know about this winter blast or something coming up. And I said to myself, I say, Father, I don't want to go another winter and now I have a hatchet with me and all of this. I don't want us to be in the house. I just want to get the wood stove up and running so we could be very comfortable and not really sacrificing, just doing what we have to do, because I don't want a $400 something light bill, and just in case the electricity go off, I don't want to keep having the propane that costs so much to refill, and I just didn't want to depend on money to be able for my dog and myself to be very comfortable in the home, because I'm trying to get to the point where I'm not depending on the money system to be my backup. I want to depend on God's system to be my backup. Yes, we need money to really run smoothly in this world, but when we're in the world and not of the world, we have a different foundation other than trusting that money will carry us over the struggle or carry us through whatever. So I know I wanted my backup to not be money. Make sure I have enough money to refill the fuel pipes or propane tanks or whatever they call, and the money to pay the light bill. I don't want all my money going to that stuff. At this time, I'm a single income, and my dollars are very calculated, and light bill and propane isn't really included in that. Yes, it can be if mandatory, but I don't want to live mandatory. That is what I'm getting away from. I'm in the world, but I'm not of this world. So God was letting me know that He respected, and it was within. God said He will give you the desires of your heart. That goes both ways. That goes where even the desires that you desire personally, God will even grant that if it's in a reasonable or reasonable, perfect will of God. If it's okay, it's okay. But also God will put desires in your heart. Because like I said, we could have our own will, but long as our will lines up with God's will, God will grant the desires of your heart that you desire if it lines up with God's will. And God will also personally put His desires within your heart. And that's basically the direction, the grounds I stand on. I have personal desires, but I prefer God to really give me my own desires within my heart. It's a thin line, because I'm at the point now where my desire is God's desire. I just have to do that by faith. So a couple of weeks ago, I said to myself and to the Father, I say, Father, I don't want to go another winter and we're not comfortable. I want to be comfortable. I don't want to be sacrificing and going through the struggle during the winter time. So God respected it and honored it, and he provided the money to have it installed. And the way the miracle, the angel, how this comes together is that God put an angel in my midst to provide me the money and also to install the wood stove and just leave. I'm going to go into detail. For me to make a way for the wood stove to be installed, I had to come out of my comfort zone and put in my spirit, in my mind, go ahead on and mentally adjust to the point that I've got to have somebody in my home to bring in another income. So I opened the doors for a roommate, regarding the trailer. And until the trailer really get functional, they would have access to my home. And that's something that I wasn't very comfortable with. I lived a life of, being a landlord, sharing my home, even to the point of renting my couch. So I know very well of living with people in close quarters, roommating and stuff like that, and it worked out very, very well. And I would suggest that to somebody as well. If you're trying to meet a goal and you're comfortable with inviting people into your home or renting rooms or even renting a couch, that is an income. But it's like that level I've come past that. I really don't want to be a landlord anymore, and I really don't want to be living with anybody unless it's my husband or my mate, companion, or my family or something like that. But as far as inviting a stranger, I hadn't really. I mentally got that out of my mind. I put that aside and didn't really think about unless they were going to be renting that trailer. But again, the trailer isn't functional. The bathroom has to be fixed. The electrical has to be, all that stuff has to be dealt with regarding getting the trailer functional to have somebody live in it. So I had to open my mind and realize they were going to have to use my bathroom, come in my kitchen and cook. So it's just, I relaxed and said, okay, I got to do what I got to do because this wood stove going to be fixed. So I said that I would rent the trailer out, or no, I posted an ad saying that, $200 a month, and all I'm asking for is help around my homestead. All I want is help inside and out of my homestead. I needed muscle. I needed a man's muscle around. So I went and posted an ad, and a fish bit the bait. It seemed like we were a very good match and everything. It was the type of situation I wanted. I wanted a person more close to my age that had a low key lifestyle. They didn't really date and all of that kind of stuff, and they're on a Social Security disability check. I had my different requirements that was needed for who I was looking for to be in my world. I'm inviting somebody into my world. So a fish bit the bait, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. So they stayed in my home for about 3 days. And during those 3 days, our first project was the wood stove. They paid their $200. They were very clean and neat. They did a very good job of getting the foundations of the wood stove installed. They basically did the inside of the preparations for the wood stove, and my neighbor and myself did the outside. And it's like the stranger came into my life to give me the $200, and all of a sudden they were gone. A situation came about. I woke up 4 o'clock in the morning, and I noticed everything was gone. Their belongings, I knew that they were gone. And I was like, wow. I was like, in a way, it just the way that it happened, it was like they were really put here in my life to provide the finances that I needed to get that wood stove started. I needed to buy pipes. I needed money to get the materials and things that was needed to even get it done. And to tell you, this is where the miracle, where God opened my eyes. I had the $200 were almost to the penny of what I needed for everything to get done for that wood stove to start chewing in the air, for smoke to start rising in the air. So that's what God was revealing to me, that the presence of angels or y'all ancestors or whoever, the presence of God's help would be right here, which it has always been. God is always a very present help in the time of trouble, in the time of need. He is always a present help. He is always right on time. But what he's bringing over within my spirit is like, it is amped up. It's amped up. God's presence, the angel's presence is in our midst as never before. We are walking miracles as never before. We will be provided, protected, and given knowledge and clarity, wisdom as never before. It's like God is really bringing us to a comfort zone of walking as gods. God in the flesh, Emmanuel. God is with us. God is within us. I guess that's it. Have a blessed day.